Warning, the following episode does get kind of loud. So you might want to put on headphones so you don't wake up your neighbors or anyone else in the house. Also, so other people don't have to listen to my shouting. You have been warned, though. I'm really hoping HBO doesn't have as strict as copyright laws as Comedy Central, because today I'll be reviewing one of their shows. The Life and Times of Tim fucking sucks, and it's no more apparent than Rodney's Bachelor Party, which is the side B to the first episode. I won't talk about side A here because this is an adult cartoon. I expect the main character to hire a whore, but this episode is just unacceptable. It starts with our main protagonist Tim talking with a coworker, Rodney. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that this show looks like it was drawn by a 7-year-old. I suppose I have no room to talk here, but I'm a person who has never had a college art class and doesn't have the program to do full animations. HBO is a high-ranking channel. They have a budget. In fact, they have the ability to make Todd McFarlane's Spawn, Spicy City, and the Ricky Gervais show. And competing with those just means you must step up your game. You have no excuse to be animated like I am. Also, Rodney is a really unlikable character. He's getting married to someone he doesn't know, considers Tim a friend even though he doesn't know him, and just overall he's an unlikable douche nugget. Pretty much one of those losers who walks around the schoolyard saying that he's had sex with every girl in the school. Anyway, at the party, which is a total flop, in fact I'll save you from the embarrassment, the three that were actually at the party decide that it would be best to make up stories. So everyone would think it was a wild party. Now, in theory, even for an adult cartoon, this could work. You have the characters make up stories which puts all three of them into some shit that they have to work their way out of. Example. Say Rodney says he's had sex with a blonde hooker with a birthmark, and one of the co-workers' wives just so happens to work as a hooker and has a birthmark. Rodney would then have to prove that he was just lying or face the consequences. Seriously, if this was what they did though, they'd be considered intelligent, and we can't have a writer for an adult cartoon be considered smart now, can we? At the office, Rodney is telling his made-up stories which people are believing. As you do. When Tim walks up to the group and people start treating him strange. Now, I need to mention that Tim is considered your everyman. He's kind of a dork that could potentially be likable depending on the situation, and makes bad decisions to get himself into these adventures. Consider him an introverted version of Jerry Seinfeld. Anyway, it turns out that the story Rodney made up for Tim is that he was raped by a bum. You heard me right. Rodney gave his good friend Tim, one of the two that actually gave a fuck and came to his party, a story where he was raped by a homeless man right in the ass. Now, let me give this show the benefit of the doubt. While not the best way to handle things, this story could still work. However, in order to make this story work, you'd need to give Tim a happy ending and Rodney to get sent to prison. Can they do this? Well, it's on crappy cartoons, so you tell me. After some scolding, Rodney tries retelling the story by saying Tim bought drapes for a bum. And once again, the humor was a swing and a miss. See, you could have said Tim bought drapes for a nun, and it could have worked. Wouldn't be funny either way, but at least the story could be moved in the correct direction. Because it obviously shows that these characters are gullible fucks to believe a bum would rape a character like Tim. Anyway, Tim gets sent to Human Resources, and the following conversation takes place.
Hey, Marie.
Tim, how are you?
Doing all right.
I have a couple of questions.
All right, let's just...
We'll just wrap this up.
Yeah.
And then you can put this entire ordeal behind you.
That's what
so to speak.
Behind me.
It's a little bum rape humor, I'm sorry.
Bum rape humor. That's not a genre of humor.
Anyway, if you could describe exactly what happened between you and this homeless man.
To be perfectly honest...
Yes, please.
It never happened. The event did not take place.
Tim, you're in denial.
No, I'm coming clean.
No, you continue to say no. That's an indication of denial.
No.
No. See, it's right there. Tim, I'm worried. I'm afraid this man could strike again.
No, it's just assume that's not going to happen.
Well, we can't take the chance. I'm going to need to contact the police.
He seemed like a good guy. You don't bug him.
I'm going to need to call the cops right now.
No.
Tim,
Don't
Tim,
call them.
Tim, it's Omnicorp policy.
Omnicorp has a policy on bum rape.
My hands are tied. As I'm sure yours were. I'm sorry.
You should not be the HR lady.
Oh,
You
man.
really should not.
Yeah.
I just don't know what to say at this point. This is trash. Utter garbage. You can't come up with things this awful, but unfortunately, it just crashes, spiraling down into a nosedive of shit. Tim, the poor fuck, goes to the police station, and we get a row of homeless guys that Tim has to pick out. Bum number 1 gets called, and, well...
What do I do?
Well, you gotta pretend you're having sexual relationships with this man.
With this guy? Can I touch him?
Can you touch him?
No.
Yeah, you know what? That might be good for you, Tim.
No.
It's very realistic to be touched. Maybe that'll help. You know what? Yes, touch him, bum.
All right.
That's really the way you do these things?
Here we go.
No. It's not him.
Yeah.
It's not the guy. Let's get number 2.
That's not the
No,
guy?
It's not. It's so not the guy.
Really? You sure?
I'm so positive.
Maybe it'd jog your memory if he took his clothes off.
No, that would not help.
Bum number 1.
I want to go.
Could you please get naked for us?
Is this
All right.
this is not how lineups usually work.
That's better.
That doesn't help at all.
It doesn't.
You sure, Tim?
It was dark. It was behind a dumpster.
Look at his body.
Yeah.
Get a good look at his body, Tim.
My face was in the dirt.
Now, let's see how I'd break this scene down. First, don't they use one-way windows in order to prevent the suspects from seeing the accuser? Second, why let the bum touch him? See, they think he was raped by a bum, so being touched would trigger emotions in their head. Despite who it is, he would probably be scared for his life. And even then, what if the bum was a murderer and wanted to snap Tim's neck? Is the police force in this world really that fucking selfish? Were they endanger a rape victim? Well, to answer that question, of course they are, because they asked the bum to get naked to reenact the scene. They are asking a bum to sexually harass and rape Tim, even after Tim has been stated multiple times that he was not in fact raped. The writers of the show thought it would be funny to make absolutely every character deliberately ignore Tim at every chance he says that they were fucking lying. Rodney ignored him, his boss ignored him, human resources ignored him, the police ignored him. Literally, nobody listens to Tim. Don't you think if he was raped, he himself would have gone to the police and not Rodney? No, of course not. Nobody in this show has the ability to think. They take what is said first at face value. This poor writing and poor storytelling. Nothing is funny about this. This is cringeworthy, facepalm-worthy. It's a show that if I ever saw again, I'd turn off before the plot gets started. Because again, nothing goes Tim's way. The world is out to get him, and there is nothing he can fucking do. And finally, to top this awful show of its awfulness, the police look at the video footage in order to see that Tim said it would be a great idea to make up stories. The police finally, after letting a homeless man harass him, ask if there was any bum rape. And once again, Tim says that there wasn't any fucking bum rape. So now they listen to him, only to punish him for a story he never accepted. He denied it this whole fucking episode. But yet, he gets put on television for the world to hear about a story that Rodney made up because Tim bothered to show up at a fucking lousy party. Fuck this show!
Pierre's the only French bomb in New York. When I open my boots, farm, I still sniff the cork. So have you a quarter? I'm begging you, please.